Today I'm gonna tell you a nice story, Goldsmith, which bears on the king of Kekille. Once upon a time, there was a prosperous kingdom, and this kingdom was ruled by the king of Kekille. One day, there was a heavy rain in this kingdom. Unfortunately, a countryman's home collapsed, and his wife and son also died. He was really sad about this, and he thought the man who built his home is guilty of this. After that, he thought to complain about this to the king. Then he went to the king and he said, "My dear majesty, my home collapsed yesterday and my wife and son also died. Please give me a justice for this." After that, the king said, "You are guilty of this. It's your fault. Because of that, two of my citizens also died." After that, the man said, "My dear majesty, I am not guilty of this. The man who built my home is guilty of this. When he making clay, he added too much water to the clay." Then the king said that, "Yes, you are right." After that, the king ordered to bring the mason to the palace. After that, Mahasenimi went and brought the mason to the palace. Then the king said that, "Because of you, this man's home collapsed and his wife and son also died. When you making clay, you added too much water to the clay. Because of this happened." After that, the mason said that, "My dear majesty, I'm not guilty of this. The person who made pot is guilty of this. He made pot mouth very big. That's why a lot of water went out." After that, the king said, "Yes, you're right. You're an intelligent mason." Then the king ordered to bring that potsman to the palace. Mahasenimi went and bring the potsman to the palace. Then the king said, "This man is in trouble because of you. You made the pot mouth very big and went lot of water to the clay." After that, the potman said, "My dear majesty, it's not my guilty. And this, when I'm making this pot's mouth, a woman walked in front of me. Because of that, this happened." After that, king said, "Yes, you're right." Then the king ordered to bring that woman. Then Mahasenimi went and brought that woman. Then the king said, "These all problems because of you, and you are guilty of these problems." Then the king ordered to bring royal elephant and trample her to death. At that time he cried and said, "My dear majesty, I am not guilty of this. I gave my jewelries to a goldsmith to make them, but he didn't give these jewelries on time. Because of that, I had to walk in front of him several times." After that, the king said, "Yes, you are right." Then the king ordered to bring goldsmith to the palace. After that, Mahasenimi went and brought goldsmith to the palace. Then the king said, "You are guilty of these all problems. Because of you, this man's home collapsed and his wife and son also died." After that, king ordered to bring royal elephant. At that time, this goldsmith said, "My dear majesty, the royal elephant was injured by my bones. Because of that, I think that fat shopkeeper suitable for this." After that, the king said, "Yes, you are right. You think a lot about my royal elephant." At that time, the king ordered to bring that fat shopkeeper to the palace. Mahasenimi went and bring that fat shopkeeper to the palace. At that time, without found anything, the king said that, "You are guilty of this man's problem. Don't talk about anything." Then the king ordered to bring royal elephant and trample him to death. At that time, that fat shopkeeper said, "I'm not guilty of this. I'm an innocent person. I don't know what I am do." So at that time, the king, without asking anything, ordered to kill that fat shopkeeper. In the end, the person who had done nothing wrong had to kill.